How y'all doing today? So today's video is going to be a two-in-one kind of video. We're going to chat about the state of the galaxy, and also we're going to go over Poe's kit. Not General Poe. I wish he was. It's going to be Resistance Hero Poe. And in today's video, we're gonna start us off by going to the state of the galaxy. But man, I'm just not too impressed with this one. It wasn't like a bad one per se. Like they did give us some good info, but it wasn't really anything new. Yeah, there are a couple things that are new, but for the most part. To sum it up, let's go over. I'm gonna try this thing right here. I got a new transitions. We're gonna check this out and just see how this works. So hopefully this worked. We're gonna check out general. Let's see if this worked. I gotta make sure this worked. Okay, I think it worked. we're gonna check out the Galactic Legends part of this post. Yeah, there's a bugs at the very end, but really the bugs aren't that huge. They're still trying to figure out the bugs. With Anakin and the GOTV, and then the cam charts and Wat Tambor. So to sum this up, if you guys really want to just know what this is in a couple words or in a sentence or so, pretty much we won't get new content for 2 more months. That's it. Maybe they're gonna have something in between, but when it comes to like that new game mode that they were talking about in their last Q&A, and also the new raid, it will not happen from here until it says right here, because this is when the Galactic Legends will come out in late March, and that's in 2.5 months from now. So that's really unfortunate, man. I don't like that. I really wish that they would have. I mean, there's goods and bads. There's pros and cons. The pros here is that, yeah, we can actually, farm stuff for that next 2.5 months. And the cons are there's not going to be as much stuff to do. So if I were to guess in that next time frame, the next couple months, the content's going to be the same content, but when it comes to like TWs and GACs, especially GACs, I would really anticipate them swapping things up, maybe adding a new kind of mode. We already just had 3v3s, maybe something different. And for TWs, I think I would love to see some just different takes on TWs. But that's pretty much it. You probably won't be seeing the new raid until after this Galactic Legend event is out, and you probably won't see that new cool game mode, which is the GW-esque mode, for a while. So other stuff that's in this Galactic Legends little State of the Galaxy post is they mentioned that the Galactic Legends will be 7-star unlocks, which is nice. They're trying to not go back to those 5-star unlocks for those epic confrontations. That whole crap show that just went down the drain with General Skywalker, and a lot of people left over that and over the whole requirements, and then afterwards only having him 5-star. He wasn't very good unless you had some really good clones, and not many people had that, so it just really didn't make a whole lot of positive stuff from that. So with this, I'm thinking, and it looks to me that they're trying to make it easier if you were to hoard a little bit, and also make it so you get it 7-star. You don't have to worry about farming the shards, which is a huge plus here. But you guys know out there, they're going to try to find an easy and cheap way to make a quick buck here. So my take on it here is the way they're going to do this is, well, one of the reasons I'll go into later with this new potential character, but the other one is, for example, we're going to have this new Poe, we're going to have a new, all these, new characters, the Finn, the Poe, the Sith Trooper, the Hux, and whatever else might come out in the future. Those are all marquees. And with marquees, and we already know it's almost guaranteed these guys will be for sure required for this Galactic Legends for either Kylo or Rey. So, farming those guys in the next 2 months will be really tricky without spending a lot of money to get them unlocked via the shards, or the packs, or like whatever it might be in the shipments, because you got to keep in mind, it takes 3 months from a marquee to turn into a free-to-play farmable character. And it's not going to be that long until the Galactic Legends actually for the event release. And, that's my next thing here. I think it's another positive with the Galactic Legends. It is going to be 7-star unlock, and they're giving us a couple months to prep for it. But I still think that they're trying to make this one in particular for this new Galactic Legends, for this event or whatever you want to call it. They're going to make it literally, you're going to be able to play whenever you want. It's not going to be, like a typical epic confrontation. It's not going to be, other legendary or hero's journey. I think for Galactic Legends, you can probably get it, you're probably going to be able to just do it whenever, and that's nice for free-to-plays, but there's going to be some people who will on this, and it's going to be in the same situation as was before, but this gives a little bit more leeway towards those people who are going to be free-to-play, and if they continue doing this with this cadence, I think it would bring in a lot more players, because, for example, if you do want to get these new Rey and Kylos, and they're all pretty much going to be marquees, or someone new player, you know, mid-game, if you are mid-game, or whatever you may be, and you got the money to spend, well, it's going to be probably, you know, marquees, and getting them are probably going to be easy, but the next thing here is the requirements and the recommended gears. And for this, we just got back from a General Skywalker event, which was Relic 3 or so for everybody in that event, but a lot of people were able to just do it with relics on a couple, if not just like one, like I did in my video to show you guys and help you with that one. So if I were to guess with this one, this is a 7-star unlock. It's going to be a lot harder, guys, you know, just straight up. I wouldn't be surprised if literally everyone would have to be Relic 7. But in order for them to do that, it would have to be these newer marquee ones, or these new characters, like, for example, for the Rey, the Finn and Poe, and stuff like that, you know. If they're gonna go back and use these older characters, like, you know, the old Finn, the old Poe, you know, BB-8, the 3PO, the R2, you know, some of them I can agree with. I might need to get them high relics or relicked up, but for like the old Finn and the old Poe, I would really rather not relic them. I can definitely see them needing the old previous versions of the Rey and Kylo needed some relics, because, you know, all in all, they're a pretty decent character and their kits are great, their leaderships are great, so I can understand that, but for the majority of the other ones, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, you know? So, I think there's a lot of positives when it comes to having this 2-month period, but there's a lot of negatives as well, so just a couple of negatives there that we went over. So, next up is the juicy stuff, guys. Upcoming releases. So, excuse me. So with this, before we get on, actually, there was another previous Q&A post chatting about the content that we're going to be getting from the new movie, The Rise of Skywalker. And in that post, it said less than 10, around 10. And if you're going to count the new Rey and Kylo, that's going to be 1, 2 for Rey and Kylo. You're going to have this new Finn, this new Poe, that's 4. Resistance Trooper, or not, Sith Trooper, and Hux, that's 6. If you're going to add in these new 2 ones, by the way, they're right here, the Raditz and the Finalizer, that's going to be around 8. And that would be, you know, a pretty decent threshold if they were to go from that post. But the thing here is that they said from the new movie, The Rise of Skywalker, I can definitely see them hitting back on the older movies, you know, from the new trilogy, the new sequels, from like Force Awakens and Last Jedi. And right here is what I'm thinking they're going to try to do here. So the Raditz and the Finalizer. These are going to be 2 new capital ships coming in February, and the Finalizer is right here. Oh, I didn't want to bring up this one. I guess it's okay. But pretty much the Finalizer is General Hux. That's his ship, and it was also Kylo Ren's, but I would probably say it's going to be Hux's ship, which makes a lot of sense. We just got Hux, you know, not too long ago. This should be his ship. He's going to be First Order, so this one makes sense. But the thing here with this one and the Raditz is that these weren't really in The Rise of Skywalker. You know, I don't know, maybe were they? I thought General Pride had his own ship, but, you know, maybe this one. I can't remember from watching those movies, like, which ones died, but I'm pretty sure the Finalizer, I think, got blown up from Holdo doing that crazy, you know, kamikaze thing or whatever. But I think if I were to assume, these are not really a part of Rise of Skywalker, and this wouldn't include in their list of less than 10 or around 10 characters or ships from that new movie. So if this is the case, these wouldn't even be in that whole, that less than 10, and we would still get more characters and ships, which I think is going to be the thing they're going to try to shoot for here. And so this is the next one, this is the Raditz. This one was from the Rebel Alliance, and then General Leia actually it was her headquarters and flagship for the Resistance Task Force. And I'm pretty sure also Holdo in The Last Jedi, this is the one that they used to kamikaze, sacrifice, it says. I like the word kamikaze though. I think it was a lot more badass. So this is the one Holdo and General Leia were that was their baby. This was their baby. So this is my next point here. I think if there were to not count these as the new movie content, and this is rather for The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens content, this wouldn't count towards the 10 or the round 10, and this would just be their own thing, which I think would be really good because there's still a lot more needed content around the First Order Resistance whether it be, new ships, which I think that we need a lot more new ships for the Resistance and the First Order to make them really good together for a potential new raid. And also, we still need a couple more tunes, I would say, for the teams for First Order with Kylo and Resistance with Rey. So yeah, this is where people are thinking General Leia will be added in, and I totally agree. I think I can definitely see a General Leia. The reason why I do think this is because we're going to have this new finalizer with being that going to be Hux's capital ship. And it would make a lot of sense to use this new character, General Leia, to be the guy, or the chick rather, leading over the Raddus. If you were to go back to Holdo, it really wouldn't make too much sense, although she did pilot it. I mean, what would the kit be? She's going to have an ability that sacrifices itself and kills the other one. Like, that's kind of crazy, especially even in this game. I think it would make a lot more sense if it was General Leia's, because not only you're going to have, from a money standpoint, you're going to have the stuff to farm a Raddus, but you're going to probably have to use a General Leia to in this new event to unlock this new raid potentially. And that's a lot more money to be made if they were to do it that way. You go back to Holdo, you're not going to make a whole lot of money. So I can definitely see them adding in a General Leia. And coming back here to finish this all up, so it's going to say here in March, they say this is when the new Galactic Legends event will be playable. The last batch of requirements will be revealed, and later that month, that's when it'll be playable. So we still have a couple more months for this whole Rise of Skywalker stuff to go through with its whole, plan of who's going to come out, where we're all going to have this, come through and make sense together in the requirements and what's going to go down. Like the whole entire, thing. The whole thing's going to be here. The whole shebang is going to be here. So that's it. Pretty much just to sum this up, we're going to get the Raddus and Finalizer. I wouldn't consider those two capital ships to be towards the 10 Rise of Skywalker characters / ships going to be introduced here. I would still anticipate some more. We just chatted about General Leia for the First Order. I would love to see, Palpatine. Was he really a part of the First Order too much? I mean, probably not. It's probably not so much, but maybe a Jet Troopers or something else. Like we just got Sith Troopers. Something else would be awesome. So that's that, and we already went over the bugs. Now I want to finish up this video by going over his kit for this new Poe. I know a lot of the people already went over this, but I want to give it my own take here and just see how it is. So to start this off, they not only gave us a new kit give us a kit for Poe, but they also touched up Finn. And the only thing they did here, you can see here, there's no other green. The only green that they changed here, or rather added, was on his special one, Strength of Will on Finn. This is probably one of his best specials because it has TMR, or not TMR, you can TM swap rather. So with this, you can TM swap with another Resistance ally, and it says here, if the target is this new Poe, he becomes inspired. So, you're going to have two people, and by the way, this Finn is pretty dang fast, he's no joke, he's pretty dang fast. If I were to remember, let me cut back and show you guys how fast he is. Okay, so I'm on .gg. I had to zoom in a little bit just to avoid some of the extra ads. I gotta get ad blocker here, but here we go. So, the fastest character in the game right now is TIE Fighter Pilot, and then you got Shaak Ti, Count Dooku, Wat Tambor, Leia, Scavenger Rey, and then here we go. We're gonna have Jyn, Zam, and now Resistance Hero Finn. So, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Around 7. Top 7, top 10, I would just say. Top 10 fastest characters in the game. He's one of them. That's huge. So now, coming back over here to his kit touch-up, you're going to be able to, with this special, you're going to be able to give Finn Inspire, or give himself and Poe Inspire. And now coming back to the actual kit of Poe, what does that mean? Well, pretty much him and Finn are going to have a lot of cool things added on with Inspire. So, he's going to be an attacker, and he's going to be light side. So, his basics are going to deal special damage. Everything here has special damage. So, he's going to be, his special damage is going to be pretty high, and he's attacker. So, his basic rather is going to be, he deals special damage. If he's inspired, the target enemy becomes vulnerable. And vulnerable is a new thing that they added in here. It's kind of like an advantage kind of thing there where you're guaranteed a crit, but it's on the enemy instead of you. So whenever the enemy has it, they're vulnerable, and it means that they're going to be able to get crit. But the thing here is that if they have crit hit immunity, if you're fighting a CLS with somebody with guard, if you're going to be fighting a Padme team who has protection up, anything that prevents crits, it's still not going to crit through it. But it will crit through critical avoidance. So like in those Traya Scion teams, this is going to guarantee crits. And especially versus Malix. If like the Malix is like, red and he has a crazy bunch of critical avoidance, this will be able to crit him. And the coolest thing about this is on a basic, by the way, is that vulnerable lasts for 1 turn. It says right here, it lasts for 1 turn. So this doesn't mean that you just get 1 critical hit off and you get no more crits. This means that it lasts an entire turn. It's a debuff. I'm assuming it's a debuff, and you can just keep on critting the guy. If they don't have those things that negate the crits and stop the crits, this is going to crit them all the time. So this is when it comes to modding, you can just ignore critical chance altogether, and on your attacker just bump them up with crazy amounts of offense and critical damage, and this it'll blow people away. It's going to be amazing. So I think this is one of my favorite parts to his kit is on a basic. So next thing is special 1, Optic Onslaught. It's a cooldown of 3. You always gotta see these cooldowns. Cooldown of 3 is pretty low, so I think this is going to be fun to play with. It says he deals special damage. He inflicts daze and stagger for 2 turns. If he is inspired, he also inflicts 3 damage over time and debuffs on them for 1 turn. So, I like this guy a lot, guys. I love this new Finn. I love this new Poe. I like their kits, but when it comes to, what the leadership could be, if it's all about TM gain with like this new Rey, the First Order are going to be winning it. And we'll get into that a little bit later of who I think is going to be the most superior team. So, this is a strong special. Inflicting Daze and Stagger are some of my favorite debuffs in the game. I love them. Just thinking about what you might be doing first turn in this team. You have a fast Finn. He's going to do that TM swap with your Poe. They're both going to have Inspire, and you're going to be able to TM swap, right? Do this move, inflict Stagger, and then Finn will be going pretty much right afterwards and do his AoE and knock off the Stagger, and he goes back to 0% TM for the enemy. And that's pretty huge. You can just kind of stop an entire guy from, doing anything when it comes to TM. For example, like Rex in the GS teams, you can just stop him in his tracks. However, it's going to be a little bit annoying with his advance. But, other teams, that was a bad example. But other teams, you can kind of stop them in their tracks. But that's a cool special. I like this special a lot. Special 2 is Blaster Bravado. And it says here, it also deals special damage and stuns them for 2 turns, which is awesome. Now that I think of it, you can probably just do that TM swap with Finn and just use this one because this is going to 2-turn stun them. This is just like Cruz, Kylo Ren and Mask's stun, his halt. You're going to be able to stun them for 2 turns, guys. That is so big. If they don't have a big cleanse on their team, or really any cleanse, this is going to be super, super OP. So, you got that going for you. And if he's inspired, well, guess what? You dispel all buffs on them, and you inflict a buff immunity for 2 turns. So this is so big because this means, like, if you're going to be fighting a Bosk or an Old Ben, or really anybody who still keeps that taunt over time, this stops them. In the example of Old Ben, he has that Zeta on him for the taunt. The taunt typically comes back after you dispel it. Well, guess what? It's not coming back anymore. However, I'm not sure. I think maybe with Old Ben it's a bit different, but I know for Bosk for a fact that this will not come back because of buff immunity, and that's huge. Just stopping a taunter and you're good to go. And taunters are one of the biggest things in this game. So the thing to wrap it up here, guys, is his unique Spark of Resistance. It's a Zeta. It's the only Zeta on this guy. If everybody here is light side, enemies lose 5% protection whenever they lose a debuff. And that is going to be the killer for Darth Revan. This is probably going to be the reason why you're not going to be seeing a whole lot more Darth Revans on your arena. This is it right here. Not only is this going to be huge, doing 5% max protection whenever they lose a debuff, but partnering that with the 2-turn stun, and then having vulnerable, being able to crit whenever you want. That's huge. That's just kind of scary when you think about it. This leads me to believe that for the most part, the Rey team and the Resistance will be very superior in pretty much every aspect, and that is a scary thought. So I'm kind of nervous about that just a little bit. They might change it to not just be all light side. They could change it to be Resistance. I don't know, but this is kind of like the Padme thing. I think it's still a strong thing. When inspired allies deal damage to an enemy, they also deal bonus damage equal to 10% of their max HP, and it can't be evaded. So we're getting some Padme vibes here, like the Courage decks, which is, you know, this is just some scary stuff, guys. With this one is unique. This is just some scary stuff. It can't be evaded either, so it's pretty awesome. If an enemy critically hits an inspired ally, all buffs are dispelled from that enemy at the end of the turn. You know, just more crazy stuff to add on to that. And if he's inspired, this is the... Okay, so I like a lot of his stuff, but really, this is probably the coolest thing. Whenever he uses a special ability and he's inspired, he gives inspired to another resistance ally. Target resistance ally. So just think of this new Poe. He's a crew. He is, what do we say here? He's a little bit of a Cassian with all his debuffs, right? And you have a pretty much, I would say, almost a non-stop advantage being able to crit, you know, whenever you want. And he's a BB-8 with this thing right here, with his unique, being able to spread it to another target resistance ally. It could also be better in a way than Secret Intel because you can target who you want. And with BB-8, it's just random. So this guy is one, if I were to prioritize who would be farming first, I would probably prioritize this guy over the Finn and then Finn right afterwards because they both work hand in hand. They're super, super important. So with that being said, which team do I feel like will be better than the other? Which one will be more superior from First Order to Resistance? Well, if I were to be honest with you guys, I think First Order will still be kind of more dominant when it comes to those two teams. But in every other facet of this game, I would probably say First Order are not going to be as great as Resistance. We're probably going to be seeing a lot of just Jedi Rey versus Supreme Leader Kylo and First Order teams and just battling it out, boom, 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 for like the next 6 to 8 months, maybe even up to a year. And I don't know if there's going to be a whole lot more diversity. I would like to think there is, but as of right now, I can only just picture what this could be with just this guy's kit. It's going to be not very fun with what I'm picturing, you know. You're getting to the point in this game where power creep is on an all-time high. You're just combining different OP kits in the past all into one new kit. And then in the future kits, you're doing the same exact thing. So it just stockpiles. And it just comes to this just big, huge, massive ball of OP-ness. And it's just not that fun. So I would like it to still be a good team, a solid team for what we're going to be getting for a Galactic Legend. But I don't want it to make the game stale. I don't want it to be a JKR. I don't want it to just be the same thing over and over and over again. I like where it is right now with gas. I can use, you know, a few different teams to climb. It's very fun and I like it. So that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. Poe, he's legit. I love him. Personally, I'm going to probably go for the First Order team first because I love Kylo a lot more than Rey. You guys know that. Hopefully you guys know that. And also the State of the Galaxy post we went over for today. Just some new stuff there. We're going to get the Radis and the Finalizer soon in February. And we're going to get more info on how these new Galactic Legends and Rey and Kylo will be later this month. Today is the 21st, so in the next, you know, week or so, we're probably gonna get more info here. So guys, thank you for watching all the way through. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it around. If you guys are new here to the channel, feel free to sub. We do have a couple ways to support me. We got channel memberships away, and we also have some new Patreon tiers if you guys want to go check out those two things. And we also have a Discord channel if you guys want to check out that. All of those links will be down below in the description. Thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see y'all later.